It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Justin Schwartz. Dr. Schwartz joined Penn State last August as the Harold and Inge Marcus Dean of the College of Engineering. Previously, he served as professor and department head of material science and engineering at North Carolina State University. Dean Schwartz is a distinguished administrator, researcher, and teacher, as well as an entrepreneur. After 25 years of partnering with companies large and small, he ventured into his own startup in 2015. He co-founded Lupine Materials and Technology, which is an optic fiber sensors and magnetic materials company focused on transforming research to practical technology. He also provided leadership for a next-generation energy and transportation technology company. Dean Schwartz is a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, ASM International, and the Institute for Electrical and Electronics Engineers. He has published more than 240 peer-reviewed journal articles and has graduated 44 doctoral and master's degree students in 6 academic disciplines. Dean Schwartz earned his bachelor's degree in nuclear engineering from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and his doctorate in nuclear engineering from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Please join me in welcoming Dean Justin Schwartz.
Good evening, and thank you, Dr. Barron, for that kind introduction. I'm truly honored to be here to celebrate with our graduates and their families and friends. Congratulations. After all these years listening to teachers and faculty from kindergarten through high school, undergraduate education, and finally graduate school, you've covered a lot of ground. And now, with the last professorial words you'll hear are from me, and I'll try not to mess it up. Like so many commencement speakers who came before me, I've spent weeks coming up with ideas to engage you and leave you with brilliant, sage advice, and do it with grace and humor, and maybe even within the time allocated. As most of you did at the beginning of your graduate work, I started with a literature search. I watched videos of speeches that have gone viral with speakers like Matt Damon, Mark Zuckerberg, J.K. Rowling. What did I learn from these? Well, first and foremost, I learned that I cannot compete with Matt Damon. So I'm sorry, it's important to know my limits and not overpromise, so please adjust your expectations accordingly. Realizing you could all do the same lit search that I did, and some of you are probably Googling Matt Damon graduation speech right now and beginning to listen through your earbuds, I decided instead to simply speak from my heart. I am passionate about the importance of having an impact on the world. I believe we only solve our greatest challenges by working together. Diversity of thought, whether that diversity is academic discipline, race, gender, geopolitics, economic status, whatever, is vital to advancing humanity. The convergence of perspectives, people, and ideas move our societies, our species forward. Sitting here today on the main floor of the BJC, you all look marvelous. Yet you are segregated by discipline. Engineers, where are you? There they are, yes. Liberal arts, where are you? They're a little more boisterous than the engineers. HHD, represent yourselves. It's a true strength of Penn State that we have such an amazing breadth of disciplines, and I apologize to those I didn't call out specifically. But I truly hope this is the last time that you find yourselves so segregated. As you enter your careers and begin adulting, that's a word now, I think, as you move forward in life, you will work with and interact with people from all sorts of backgrounds and experiences. You'll hear the words partnership, collaboration, interdisciplinary so often that unfortunately the real meaning of these words, the real importance of their message can get lost. Nonetheless, I implore you to embrace them. Embrace and respect those with the knowledge, training, and experiences you lack. Embrace them not only for your personal growth, but to maximize your ability to have a positive impact. Do it to change the world. As a society and as a species, we face major challenges and threats these days. Some relate to social justice, economic opportunity, structural racism, ingrained sexism, and the real meanings of privacy, freedom, and democracy. Others threaten our habitat, our living spaces, our food supplies, and our water. And yet others, sadly, are human against human situations. It's daunting, and it can be overwhelming. We humans are social but a strange species. We are defined in part by our opposable thumbs, but just as much by our oppositional attitudes. We have a remarkable ability for beauty, compassion, and creativity, as much as we have the ability for ugliness and hate. But despite it all, I remain optimistic. This is not the first time in modern history that we have contemplated an end to human existence. In his 1950 Nobel Prize banquet speech, Faulkner discussed the threat of nuclear war, but concluded by saying, "I decline to accept the end of man." And later, the poet's voice can be one of the pillars to help him endure and prevail. Faulkner believed the power of the poet, of thoughtful people, would bring us back from the brink. And in retrospect, he was right. But today's world is more complex. In 1950, less than 5% of US households had televisions, whereas today, we all carry them in our pockets. Pulitzer Prize winner, modern-day poet Tom Friedman of the New York Times recently wrote that people like Mark Zuckerberg need to save the world because he said the business of business is no longer just business, the business of business is society. But I think Friedman missed the mark. In today's world, the business of all of us is society. We all have the responsibility for improving our communities, our cultures, and our climates. We all have the responsibility and the right to change the world. We all must take control of our collective future. Why? Because technology is advancing faster than we can understand its impact on people, the economy, and the environment. We engineers and scientists have a responsibility to understand the broader impact of our work. Non-engineers have the responsibility to understand the impact of technology as well. And we all have the responsibility to define and create the world we want. Now, you'll have to forgive me for citing examples that are technical, but I'm an engineer, so that's my lens. But think about self-driving cars. The technology exists. Self-driving cars are being road tested, and you may have heard of the deadly accident in Arizona earlier this year. But what of the sociology of it all? A recent MIT study found a decreasing number of 25 to 34-year-olds are comfortable with fully automated vehicles. 40% were comfortable in 2016. A year later, only 20%. But technology marches on. Now, don't misunderstand, I'm not a Luddite. I strive for technological advances as much as anyone. My wife will tell you I only take up a hobby if there's a cool gadget involved, and she's right. But technology development needs to be fully engaged with experts in policy and law, business, and often healthcare. And yes, with poets and musicians and artists too. Another example, unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, pose a similar challenge from a societal impact perspective. We'd love our Amazon orders to be delivered by UAVs quickly. Some of you would probably love a drone to fly in here right now and bring you a snack or a drink, commanded by an app on your phone. But what about a stranger flying a UAV with a video camera over your backyard while your children are playing? At present, there are few laws addressing this invasion of privacy. And speaking of privacy, many of us were impacted by the Facebook data breach. While the mining of personal information may seem like a violation of user trust, much of the data was collected from personality tests that users voluntarily completed. I know I did some of them, and if you ask me later, I can tell you which famous baseball legend or which superhero I most resemble. But the most important question is who's responsible for manipulation of people and voters via such data? And more generally, do we have the collective will to protect ourselves? So now you're probably wondering, didn't he say he was an optimist? Well, this is where all of you come in. You have the power, even the obligation, to do something to change the world for the better. With your Penn State graduate degrees and the mindset of a powerful generation, you collectively have the tools to save us from ourselves. Your generation is often maligned in the media for being internally focused, preferring technology over human contact, and being attached to your phones. I suspect some of you are texting and tweeting right now. If you are tweeting, please tag me. I am optimistic because I reject the negativity of the media towards you. I believe in you. All of us on this stage believe in you. I believe you will do great things for the betterment of our planet. I believe you are part of a transformational generation that will leave an indelible mark on not only U.S. history, but on the world. Every so often, when humankind most needs it, a generation comes along and says, stop. I believe that such a generation, your generation, is emerging now to bend the arc of history. No pressure, I expect great things from all of you. The biologists, the historians, the psychologists, educators, nurses, sociologists, architects, musicians, policy experts, information scientists, and yes, of course, the engineers. Like Faulkner, I do not believe in the end of humanity because I believe in you. Now, you may be thinking, how can I save the world? It won't be easy. Begin by being true to your values, and always remember your Penn State values too: integrity, respect, responsibility, excellence, discovery, and community. Be informed, be in tune with the world. Use your creative and critical thinking and your voice to engage others. Speak out, but listen too. Listen across disciplines, across cultures, across borders, and across generations. It was Teddy Roosevelt, one of my personal heroes, who said, "Do what you can with what you have where you are." It's not the most eloquent of quotes, but perhaps at its core, it's the most meaningful. We often talk of our individual and human rights, and we should. But let's remember our responsibilities too. The responsibilities that come with freedom, with life in the wealthiest country in human history, with remarkable new enabling technology, and with intellect and capabilities you have developed in yourselves via graduate degrees from Penn State. It is incumbent upon all of you to hear Teddy Roosevelt's words and simply do what you can. And it's not just me saying this. In 2016, Matt Damon told the MIT graduating class, "What you do matters." And I told you, I cannot outdo Matt Damon. So thank you all for this opportunity to share in your day of proud celebrations. Congratulations on your accomplishments. We are very proud of you, and we know great things are coming in your futures. Thank you.